In Vail, Colorado, the nation's busiest ski resort was hit today by a fire. Arson is suspected.
You may have heard of the Earth Liberation Front. The Attorney General himself says it's a domestic terrorist organization. The FBI says it is one of the most dangerous groups in the country.
The ELF has claimed responsibility for more than 24 major acts of eco-terrorism since 1996.
Fire bombings include attacks on lumber mills, wild horse corrals, and 2 meat packing plants.
So far, not one of the cases has ever been solved, and authorities acknowledge they know next to nothing about the membership or the leadership of the organization.
But I think Jake was tired of the talk. He was tired of just, philosophizing. You guys, through talking shit now or what? Let's do it.
I'm okay with cutting down trees. I just don't have an issue with it. But I'm not okay with cutting them all down. The industry tends to call the environmentalists radical. The reality is that 95% of the standing native forests in the United States have been cut down. It's not radical to try and save the last 5%. What's radical is logging 95%. This is radical.
In one night, they'd accomplished what years of letter writing and picketing had never been able to do.
Take initiative, form your own cell, and do what needs to be done to protect all life on this planet.
These corporations exist to make money. All of a sudden, they're losing money, so they have to reassess their activities. Another thing that happens is that the building that was dumping toxic waste, for example, into the river one day, is unable to dump that waste tomorrow.
The Earth Liberation Front is turning up the heat again, igniting devastating blazes all across the country.
A biology lab at the University of Minnesota,
Bloomington, Indiana, New York's Long Island.
Now some say ELF is in New England.
Vandalism is vandalism. Destruction is destruction, whether it's of lives or property. It's not acceptable.
What do you think of the Boston Tea Party?
I thought it was wonderful.
We didn't really look like what you think we would look like. I mean, if you saw people walking down the street, you would never think that's the ELF.
But we take spray paint. Myself and another person go out to the shed, and I write ELF on one side in like pretty huge letters, and the other person writes, "You cannot control what is wild."
1,200 incidents are being accredited to the ELF and ALF in this country, and not a single injury or death. Those statistics don't happen by accident.
I don't think these people are terrorists. I think the people and the agencies and the industry that they're fighting are the true terrorists. When you've got big timber companies coming into the Northwest, clear-cutting old-growth forests, big oil companies with their big oil spills that cost billions and billions and billions of dollars. You don't see the FBI raiding these executives' homes or anything like that. They aren't being threatened with life in prison.
It's like when you're screaming at the top of your lungs and like no one hears you. Like, what the hell are you supposed to say? You know? What are you supposed to do?